Good morning, everyone. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. Good morning, good day, depending on where you're from. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Very excited to get on stream with you guys again. More time with price action, gain some more conviction through experience. Morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. Going to take some time to say hi to the community, give everybody a warm welcome, and then we will get into any information. Hope everybody's week is going well. Everybody's day is going well. Just had CPI here this morning. We will talk about expediting CPI. Before we do that, let's see who's here. A lot of familiar faces. Once again, being around other like-minded professionals is truly valuable. Getting to learn, getting to work around other like-minded professionals provides a greater experience than if we did this on our own. You know, if we were to be sitting here on our own, we wouldn't have anybody to ask questions to. Or if we were doing this on our own, we would only be able to obtain one experience compared to working with other like-minded professionals where everybody shares their experience. That gives us an exponential amount of learning opportunities. We get to see other perspectives, we get to see other information, and we get to bounce ideas off of each other. So, in my opinion, for anybody that's willing to document publicly, I highly suggest doing so. Bringing value to the community is worthwhile. Thank you for all of the people that have been participating in the community. Being able to see all the documentation from these other professionals is truly providing a great learning experience. let alone the accountability that comes with it. You should truly find some accountability in your journaling, in your documenting, because that is where you learn the most. You learn things that worked for you. You learn things that didn't work for you. Stuff that you might not have seen in real time when you go back to review it. You get to analyze it then. But you wouldn't know that if you're not documenting. So for anybody that's not journaling, I highly suggest you do so, whether that's public or not. I would highly suggest documenting. That is what I've been doing. For all the people that have been with me for some time, you would know that I've been documenting in Discord for over 5 years now. And the documentation's still there and still happening every single day. Conviction is built through experience. You submit to time and document every chance you get. There's a great learning experience there for you. Don't be deterred by any short-term gratification, because the fact of the matter is we are going to have to complete this day in and day out for an extended period of time. Now, let's see who is here. Let's give a warm welcome to the community, and then we will get into some price action. Morning, Knox. Morning, Grandma. Good morning, Johan. Beck. Ortiz. Eat. Good morning, good morning. Atman, good to see you again. Jimmy, good morning. Uturo, good morning. HMH, good morning. Antonio, good morning. Ariel. Invesco. Mike, good morning, good morning. Christina, good morning. Hi, good morning. Maxwell, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody's week is going well. Heather, good morning. JD, One Girl Trader. Tatiana, good morning, good morning. Daniel, good morning. EZ. Nikolai. Priscilla. Mac. Gabrielle, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nico, good morning. Mr. Reckless. Micah, good morning. Memo, good morning. Tiffany. Luke, what's up? Just in time. Whistle. Andrea. Mo, good morning. Doug Yu, good morning. Hi, good morning. Daryl, Mr. Beach. Mario, good morning, good morning. Gaetano, good morning. How's everybody doing today? EB Mose, good morning. Ngana, good morning. Jess, good morning. Uday, what's up? Wendy, Nico, Jared, good morning, good morning, good morning. Bill, good morning. Arshad, good morning. Nicola, good morning. Rayma, good morning. Elaine, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hop over into price action, see what today has for us. Now, the process always remains the same. Whether you find it redundant or repetitive, we look to fall in love with the process and allow the results to be a byproduct of it. So, no matter how long you've been here on the live streams, I'm here to tell you that you're going to see the same thing every day. It's the same process. And that's the point. Our justifications to our actions need to be so defined that way there's no questions that we are asking ourselves during execution. We need to have that muscle memory because discretion is going to cause lag, especially for any individual that doesn't have confidence in their decision making. You'll get left behind during the time of executing because you're sitting there trying to make a decision. So if you can find a mechanical process, that takes out all of the questions, right? And the mechanical process that I'm referring to here is time, right? We start on the economic calendar. Then we move to the daily for a bias or draw on liquidity. After we've completed those two things, that's when we're looking for an entry function. Whether you find that repetitive or redundant, that is what a mechanical personality needs. So if you're the mechanical person who's trying to develop the muscle memory needed, you're going to have very defined justifications to your actions. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that being discretionary is a bad thing. What I'm saying is you should look internally to understand what works best for yourself. For example, I can sit here and say that I know that my personality is a mechanical personality. I need 1 + 1 to equal 2. I don't want there to be any questions about it. I want it to be strictly defined so that I know how to move forward. I know what is a trade and what is not a trade. Right, so look inward to understand if you're the mechanical type or if you're the discretionary type. Only you will be able to answer that. And you do that by taking extreme ownership of your abilities. Now let's take a look. We always need to understand our important times of the day. So that's why during every live stream, you see me start on the economic calendar. Economic calendar provides all of those important times, except for New York Open. It doesn't say New York Open on here, but stock market opens at 9:30. So 9:30 a.m. will always be an important time every day that the market opens. Other than 9:30, we have our red folders. This is why we're on the economic calendar. We always need to know when those red folders are. And here it is, right? 8:30 a.m. We had CPI. So for anybody that has not already watched the video with Kimvesco regarding expediting evals, I highly suggest you go to the student stage playlist and watch the video regarding expediting evals. Since we had CPI today, we'll quickly talk about it. Expediting evals is only for the individuals that are, 1, willing to take the risk being the purchase price of an eval, and 2, for the individuals that are capable of turning the light switch on and off. Expediting an eval is a separate concept from you trading your model. So if you can't differentiate between the two, then you should not be expediting. Now, let's just assume that you are capable of accepting the risk, so the dollar amount of whatever the eval purchase is, and you're also disciplined enough to understand that after you expedite, you go right back to your normal risk management, you go right back to your discipline in carrying out your model. If you're capable of doing that, then think about expediting. And expediting, in simpler terms, simply means that we are trying to pass an eval as quickly as possible. The way that we're doing that is during major news events. In my opinion, non-farm payroll and CPI are the best events to do it with because they are the most volatile news releases that we have. That's the purpose of expediting, is to capture volatility. The way that we're capturing volatility, I will go back to creating a bias. I'm just going to quickly talk about CPI. The way that we are capturing volatility is, right, notice the time here. It is 8:25 here. Let's even just put it on a 1-minute chart so we can go to the exact minute. All right, so you can see it here, 8:29. At 8:29, right, about 30 seconds before the news release. Oh, let's click. All right. 30 seconds before the news release, we're sitting here placing buy stop orders above price. Okay. We're setting sell stop orders below price. Now, the reason why the stop loss isn't there because we're looking to either pass or fail the challenge during the news release. So we're going full size, meaning we're hitting the contract limit on buy stop orders and sell stop orders 30 seconds before CPI, and we are looking to capture enough points to pass the eval in one trade. So all you need to do is understand the account that you are trading to understand the contract size that you can order, along with the profit target that you need. You just calculate the amount of points that you need to capture during the CPI release. Then during the CPI release, get the right. So all of the buy stop orders this morning had a very good pass rate, right? Because notice how the sell stop orders do not get triggered because it is never filled. So then we close this out and we allow our buy stop orders go to the target. This is how we capture volatility. Okay, so very quick review of CPI. CPI is a chance to expedite. So is non-farm payroll. That is the purpose that I wanted to go through a quick explanation since it just happened this morning. We had a lot of members passing evals this morning using this strategy. Now, I know a handful of those individuals are in here. If this is your first time passing an eval, simply just wait, right? Everybody thinks that there is normally some instant gratification. No, you're going to have to wait until market close. That's when you receive an email from whatever firm that you traded. You will get an email towards the end of the day saying you either passed or failed. And if you did pass, they will give instructions to the funded account. So simply just wait for that email. Keep an eye on your emails. All right, so now this is the point in time where we have to flip the light switch back to trading our model. So for the individuals that are not capable of changing the mindset, then maybe expediting is not for you. But for the individuals that are capable of changing the mindset, now let's go through our normal process. While I get into the analysis, do me a favor, like the stream, sub to the channel. For any of the individuals that are curious why they can't participate in chat, because you have not subbed to the channel. So sub to the channel, like the stream. That way I know everybody's engaging and it's worthwhile. Along with, if anybody's looking for more direct communication with me, go to the link to the description in this video. You will see all of my communities. My Discord communities, my Twitter. You'll see all the socials there. You can follow along there. Now, let's get prepared for New York Open. New York Open just opened 7 minutes ago. So let's see what today has for us. We've already checked the economic calendar, so we understand time. Right? 8:30 was the important time, along with 9:30. So we're past the important time. The next thing that we do is obtain a bias or a draw on liquidity. We do that on the daily chart because we want to be on the same side as the higher time frame order flow. Okay, so once again, the game plan. All letters up there. Change that. The game plan has been and always will be. Time is the most important element. Bias or draw on liquidity is the second most important element. And entry function after that. Yes, bias and draw on liquidity mean the same thing. Whatever price is reaching for. Okay? Now that we understand time by looking at the economic calendar, we then move over to the daily chart. And what we're looking for on the daily chart is, where is price currently located? Are we dealing with a bullish FVG or a bearish FVG? Are we dealing with a swing low or a swing high? So seeing that price just tapped into an FVG, right? This is a bullish FVG here. Seeing that price tapped into the bullish FVG, I would then look for price to move to the swing high. We have a bullish bias when we are dealing with bullish FVGs and swing lows. We have a bearish bias when we are dealing with swing highs and bearish FVGs. When I'm looking to obtain a bias, I'm looking to use the most recent information. So notice how I'm pointing to this bullish FVG. I'm not pointing to this swing high. That is because this bullish FVG is more recent. It was developed and created on November 7th. This swing high is from July 11th. So that points to my statement saying that I use the most recent information. Most recent information that I'm looking at is bullish FVGs or bearish FVGs, swing highs and swing lows. That is how I determine bias. Now the important thing to understand is using a bias simply just needs to get you in and out of a position. You do not need to determine the daily candle closure. You do not need to forecast the next 10 days. All you need to do is get in and out of a position. That's it. Because at the end of the day, you are either red or green. It does not matter if you correctly identified the daily candle. What does matter is, did you make money? Yes or no? So I don't care where the daily candle closes. Yes, I am going to create a bias so that during the opening times, I know what I'm looking for. Right? So now, since I've just stated that I have a bullish bias because price tapped into a daily bullish FVG, that's when during the opening times, I will then go and look for a bullish entry function. And we're going to do that here this morning. So now that we've developed a bias, we'll sit here and look for a bullish entry function due to the daily tapping into the bullish FVG, and we'll look for price to make new all-time highs. Right? The target was the swing high on the daily. That swing high would be new all-time highs. So, how do we engage? How do we engage with that? Our entry function. For anybody that has not already done so, go to the Unicorn Model playlist on my YouTube and review that playlist. That will show you my entry function. That is how I engage with the marketplace. Okay, so very simple. This is what we're looking for here. Right, a swing low, swing high, a new low, a new high. Right, we're looking for this because we're bullish. So we're looking for a bullish breaker that has an FVG aligned with it. A bullish unicorn. We'll sit here and wait to see if they provide one. If they provide one, we'll look to analyze it. If they do not provide one, we know there's no position to take because I'm not counter trading my bias. That's the entire purpose to gaining a bias. It helps you look at one side of the marketplace. Right? Going back to the mechanical statement that I made earlier, my personality needs a mechanical approach, right? I look at the time, I understand the time. I look at the bias, I understand the bias. After understanding the bias, I move to an entry function time frame to execute an entry function that is aligned with that bias. See how everything, like 1 + 1 = 2. There's a cause and effect relation for each part of the process, and each part of the process is defined in terms of how we do things. That's the purpose. We need to know how to move forward. Having those justifications to our actions helps us understand how to move forward. Okay, so we will be looking for a bullish unicorn this morning. See if price has provided one yet. So it looks like ES has a continuation unicorn here, and this is on the 1 minute. Q does not. For any of the individuals in here that are already going to ask me, how do you choose the 5 minute or how do you choose the 1 minute? Go and look at your results. You understand which time frame to use to execute by understanding your prior result. This goes back to the statement of documenting. You have to document everything. You have to document everything. If you can see in your prior results that you have a 70% win rate when executing on the 5 minute chart versus a 20% win rate when executing on the 1 minute chart, there's your answer. Get off the 1 minute chart. Okay? So It's always going to come down to being an independent thinker. And when you're being an independent thinker, think logically through defined data. Okay, we're not hoping and praying. We're not just euphorically coming up with new ideas to see if it works out. Document everything, then analyze your data. Okay, that's what it comes down to. Right? So I can personally tell you that the majority of my executions come on the 5-minute chart. I can say that because I've documented all of my executions. So in terms of the individual asking me the 1-minute or the 5-minute, I'm going to say the 5-minute because that's where the majority of my executions happen. So it's not a technical analysis thing that says, oh, choose the 1-minute chart over the 5-minute chart. No, there's no technical indicators that do that. It's your prior data. What are you better at executing? That's what matters. So we will sit here. We're going to look for any bullish unicorns. There is none currently on the screen yet. So that's how I know to wait and be patient. Okay. As we're waiting, we can now get some questions and comments in. Now that I've got my analysis completed, now that we understand what to look for, right? And I'll leave it off with this before we move into the questions and comments. There's two options here. Either they show a bullish unicorn during my hunting hours, right? That's something that would be actionable because I have a bullish bias. Or they do not show a bullish unicorn, which means I would not have a trade because I don't counter trade my bias and I only have one entry function. So for the individual that's wondering, you know, do you change your bias or do you marry your bias? Yes, I create a bias, then I execute that bias. I do not change my bias. And I'm okay with that because I don't want to trade every single day. So for somebody that says, you know, you're marrying your bias, you're going to miss out on an opportunity, blah, 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 blah. That's okay because I don't trade every day. On average right now, I'm averaging 1 trade a week. And there's a reason behind that. I truly believe less is more. Quality over quantity. You do not need to be in the market every single day. The people that are taking 20 trades a day, every single day, I'm not going to sit here and say there's something wrong with that, but what I am going to say is that's not my personality. And I'm going to take extreme ownership in my own personality. I know that that's not for me. So I don't do that. Okay? Always going to come down to looking internally, taking extreme ownership of your own business, and understanding how to execute, because you are the only person that's ever going to press the button for yourself. So other people's opinions is not what gets you in and out of a trade. What gets you in and out of a trade is your ability to run this business as an independent thinker. Okay? So, as we're sitting, watching and waiting, we will be looking for a bullish unicorn. If one presents itself, I will point it out, as I've done in the past. If one does not present itself, I will not be pointing anything out. I'm not looking to change my bias. I would rather be wrong in my bias and have no position to take then sit here and flop like a fish. So as we're sitting, watching, waiting, now I'll start to get over to the questions and comments. Once again, if you're wondering why you can't participate, it is subscriber only, so you have to sub to the channel to participate in chat. And if you don't mind, throw a like on the video. That way I know that people are engaged and that we should continue doing it. Hi, Ash. Which is better, back testing or forward testing? Forward testing is better. Showing up to live price action every single day. The way that you feel or think, your mental and emotional intelligence is completely different during live trading than back testing. So in my opinion, I think you need to show up to live price action and document every single day. Ash, would you rather wait for price to take yesterday's lows or today's lows before reversal? I don't have a preference in terms of which lows it takes. It simply comes down to, we look for longs below old lows, we look for shorts above old highs. So I'll look at either one of those lows. Not going to matter if there's no entry function presented when those lows are visited. Hi, Ash. Can you please look at the 1 hour to see if it's aligned with the daily? Okay, so after expansion comes what? So we're clearly bullish. We have been moving higher for quite some time now. After expansion comes what? After expansion comes consolidation or retracement. Right, here's your consolidation. So yes, the hourly is aligned with the daily order flow. Right, we're looking at expansion, then consolidation. And I'm saying that it is aligned with the daily order flow because you don't see a clear and decisive change in the state of delivery. So we have not changed the trend. We've expanded and then consolidated. So the trend is still intact. That bullish bias from the daily shows on the hourly that the market structure is still aligned with the bullish bias. We're simply consolidating. After expansion comes consolidation or retracement. Currently, we're dealing with consolidation. Price is currently within a range created yesterday. That is why I thought yesterday's highs and lows are more significant. Both of them are significant, and that's why I said I would look at either one of them. Both of them are significant. Which BB is higher probability in this price action, 940 or 920? Well, you gotta. Are we talking about NQ? Start your talk. 920, 940 is not a breaker block. 920 is a breaker. So 940 is not even an option. Talking about NQ. Not an option because there is no institutional swing point. That cannot be a breaker block. Ash, take into consideration that there's a strong, respected FEG from... What makes that FEG strong? Like, what tells you that FEG... 940 on ES, pointing to Okay, 940 on ES would be correct. Have a swing low, have a swing high, have a new low. Highest up close candle before the leg down that took. So 940 on ES is correct. 940 on NQ is not correct. Seconds, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Once again, feel free to throw any questions or comments in chat as we're going over any questions or comments as we're waiting for any entry function. All right, thank you very much. You comfortable buying in a deep premium? In a bullish market, do you want to see price go into a discount? Yes or no? Let me know your opinion. In a bullish market, do you want to see price go into a discount? No. No, you don't. A stronger market is not going to go into a discount. Take a look. Look at this move higher. During this move higher, does it ever retrace back into a discount? No, we keep just moving higher. A bullish market is not going to go into a discount. If a bullish market goes into a discount, it's going to look weaker than it did if this is a breakaway gap. Right? Here's a breakaway gap, breakaway gap, breakaway gap, breakaway gap. A breakaway gap is your strongest form of momentum. So you don't want price to go into a discount. Okay? Not sure how long everybody's been trading, but, you know, go back to 2020. Tell me how many times during the bull run that we went into a discount. Or NQ 940 candle, ICT Michael also said that this is also an order block. So if it breaks, then why is it not a valid breaker block? So an order block and a breaker block are two completely separate things. Okay, I highly suggest you go and review the Unicorn Model playlist to understand that. A breaker block and an order block are two completely separate things. You can have an order block without it being a breaker block. I would review the definition of a breaker block. How do you know when to anticipate that, though? Sometimes price will make its way back to equilibrium. I'm not anticipating anything. That's the answer right there. I'm objectively reading price. I'm not forecasting. I'm not predicting. I'm sitting here, and every time a candle prints, I'm reading it for what it is. Right? And I highly suggest you do the same thing. Don't be subjective. Okay? If you're going to influence your opinion on price, that's not a good idea. It's going to cause you to do things that you shouldn't. Instead, be objective. So, review price without any influence. That's what being objective is. So what I'm trying to point here is, I'm not sitting here and saying it can't go into a discount. I'm not sitting here and waiting for it to go into a discount. I'm doing neither one of those. What I'm doing here is sitting and reading price for what it's giving us. And right now, price is not going into a discount. That's how bullish it is. Right? So it's better to react efficiently than to predict. Ash, I'll always be thankful for your information. It's been 1 year following you with the unicorn setup. It's been 1 year, Atman. Give some credit to yourself for all of the time and energy and focus that you're putting into this. It's truly going to pay off one day. Consistency is key. You can overcome anything with consistency. Submit to time, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you reach that goal at some point in time. And to reach that goal, consistency will be your best friend to getting there. Hey Ash, curious to see what dealing range you're using to determine premium and discount on the 1 hour time frame. See, I'm not using premium and discount, and I was trying to relay that information during this conversation. Price is not going to reach into a discount in a very bullish market. So sitting here and waiting for premium and discount is just going to keep you out of the move. So premium and discount is not something that is at the top of my priority. Have I used session stat map yet? No, I use the open, high, low, close. I don't use the session stat map. I use the open, high, low, close stat map. For anybody that wants to review my information on StatMap, there is 2 videos on my YouTube. There is a 2 degrees live stream where I explain my usage of StatMap. And then there's also a student stage with Juno. Juno provided a phenomenal presentation with a PDF, a very aesthetic PDF to follow along with regarding StatMap and how we use it. Feel free to go on the YouTube channel and review those videos to see how we're using it. Hey Ash, if the breaker candle has a long wick, do you still enter at the top of the wick? Anytime I identify a breaker, I use the entire candle. This is not a breaker. I'm only doing this to show an example. Say that one more time because I know anytime that I ever put anything on the screen, somebody ends up using it. This is not a breaker. I'm only doing this to answer the question. When I identify the breaker, I use the entire candle. Right? So when I enter from the beginning of the breaker with a stop loss a couple points below it. Okay, so yes, the answer is yes. If it has a wick, I am highlighting the wick. It is a part of the breaker. NQ is making a 5 and 15-minute breaker. Do we consider it? Well, are you bullish or are you bearish? That's what I would like to. Are you bullish? Or are you bearish? Right? Because I'm not bearish, so I'm not looking at a bearish breaker. I would rather get my bias wrong and have no positions than to flip my bias back and forth throughout the session. And as I explained during the pre-market analysis, I'm looking for higher prices. So I'm not looking at this whatsoever. I have no interest in that. I'd rather be wrong in my bias and have no trade than to change my bias 100 times during the session. There is no bullish entry function. We're looking at this. Ever since 9:30 open, we have yet to receive this. Ready? Swing low, swing high, new low, new high. That's how I know that I have no executions yet. And I'll continue to wait. Hey Ash, last month I received my first payout using the unicorn. Wow. Evil Eye, congratulations. It's amazing to hear. I'm so grateful for everything, but there is a long journey ahead. Yes, so don't fall into any type of euphoria, right? Just because you got a payout does not mean that you should, lose focus, lose discipline, right? You still have to carry out the model every chance that you can get. Okay? Very good job. Congratulations on the payout. What time do you hang it up if you get no setup? So I hunt from 9:30 to 12. The closer we get to 12 o'clock, the less interested I become. Once again, if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to throw it in chat. As we're watching live price action, there's yet to be a position that I'm currently interested in, so that is why you haven't seen me point to anything on the chart yet. Sitting, waiting, objectively analyzing price, being patient. Will gladly point to something when I see something, but I'm not going to randomly point to anything because that is not how I conduct my business. Either my entry function presents itself and that entry function is aligned with my bias, or I do nothing, right? And so far I've done nothing this morning because I have a bullish bias and we've only gotten lower prices so far during New York Open. I'm all right with that. I'm more than okay with being patient. Hi, Ash. Is it okay not to use the expediting process to pass an account? Of course that's okay. Right? If you need more time practicing the model, then that's what you should do. Okay? If you need to practice the model, then you should not expedite. What are the different levels on StatMap and what is included in their calculations? Please watch the StatMap interview. I have 2 videos, one with Juno and one in the 2 Degrees Discord. Both of those videos are recorded and uploaded to my YouTube. Please watch those videos. It explains that question in depth. Would tomorrow be an opportunity to expedite? I only look at CPI and non-farm payroll for expediting opportunities. Reason being is, 1, risk management. You don't want to just expedite every chance you can get. That doesn't sound like you're being a good risk manager. 2, non-farm payroll and CPI are our highest volatile news events. Therefore, a strategy that is trying to capture volatility, you should probably use the most volatile times. So in my opinion, I would only use non-farm payroll or CPI for expediting. Hey Ash, what kind of sizing do you suggest using to pass a 50K My Funded Futures account? So you should give yourself at least 10 attempts in terms of risk management for any account. Okay, so if you have a $2,000 drawdown limit, then your risk for any trade should be $200. So you got to give yourself multiple attempts before failing a challenge. So in my opinion, give yourself at least 10 attempts before you would fail. So whatever size you want to go with, that's how you understand your risk, by giving yourself at least 10 attempts. Look at the drawdown that they give you on that account and divide that into 10 to understand how much risk you should give on any given trade. Hey Ash, do you journal your trades? Yes, I've journaled and documented the stock market every single day for the past 5 years. That is what my Discord is. I have a public Discord, and then I also have a premium Discord. You can find both of those in the link of the description of this video. I show up every single week. I document my session. My session is the New York AM session. You will see all of my documentation there. Hi, Ash. If the daily candle does not wick, but closes below a previous swing low, will you have a bullish or bearish bias? As I get confused. When you are displacing through a swing low, right, that sounds like a time to be more patient than instantly changing your bias to being bullish because you're below a swing low. Okay? So when you're displacing through a swing low, that would be a time to be more patient and look for a change in the state of delivery before changing your bias. Okay? Been bearish on CL daily. Wow, would I move lower? Yep, so I'm also bearish on CL. Nice. Lower. Very good job. Yep, so I was looking at this right here on CL. You can go ahead and just fact check me by looking at my documentation. This is what I was looking at here, was bearish FEG, swing low. So after this bearish FEG was created from yesterday's daily candle closure, this is what I was looking at here for price to move to the swing low. Very good job, Luke. Going to have to document that and update the charts in the premium Discord. We will do that after we watch our session. Exactly, Luke. Very, very good job. I literally just made this statement. Sam, this is an answer to your question, right? Ready? Question was, here's a swing low, right? Swing low. On the daily chart, so we're trying to obtain a bias. When price displaces through a swing low, right? It's very easily identifiable because you can see the bearish FEG. The presence of an FEG is the literal definition of displacement. We have displaced through a swing low. This is a moment in time where I will not change my bias, right? I'm not willing to become bullish because we're below a swing low. And the reason why I'm not willing to become bullish is because of this displacement right here. We displace through the swing low. Displacement is key. Seeing this displacement looks like continuation of the move lower. Hence why we got a continued move lower towards this swing low. The presence of displacement is key. Key. Do I have a discount on Apex? No, I'm not affiliated with Apex. Convesco is though. So if you want to type in day trading realtor, that will be a code. Yeah, I'm not affiliated with. The only affiliation I have is with my funded futures. I'm not going to go into the reasoning for that, but going to remain that way. I do my due diligence on the companies that I use, and that explains my thought process. After doing my due diligence, I've decided that my funded futures is the only one that I find credible, so that is the only one that I'm going to affiliate with. Nice move higher on Dixie here too. This one was pretty easily identifiable. This is again the same exact conversation regarding bias, right? Price is above a swing high, but when we went above the swing high, we displace through it. This looks like we're continuing to move higher because displacement is key. So seeing the displacement and then also seeing, what is this here? Equal highs, right? Our strongest form of drawn liquidity. Look how equal these are. Price needs to run that out. I reference the Convesco student stage all the time for passing prop firms. Thanks for the value, Ash. Yep, so thank you for the kind words. Convesco has done a phenomenal job. Very professional presentation regarding expediting evals. For anybody that wants to learn about expediting evals, go check out that video. Give Convesco a follow. You'll see opportunities of us expediting evals. This morning, another beautiful live stream where we had pointed to expediting evals during the CPI release, and a lot of our members passed their evals because of it. I'm facing challenges in passing evaluation accounts. Although I utilize Unicorn Strategy, which has a solid win rate, it falls short of meeting the target required within 30 days. Meeting a target is simply just a size thing. You can just go larger size to see larger returns. Now, I'm only saying that if you're capable of having a profitable strategy. If you are not profitable yet, then submit to time and keep practicing. Ash, how often do you go live? In the premium group, I go live 4 times a week. So that is the reason for the premium members. They want more time with me on live streams. They can get that in the premium group. I do 1 public live stream a week, so that is this here on YouTube. So if you're looking for additional live streams, that's where the premium group comes into hand. What's my bias? I am bullish. You go back to the beginning of this live stream, you will see the analysis that I provided regarding a bullish bias. Simply just rewind the video, go to the beginning of the live stream, and you get all the logic there. Hope you have a nice day, Convesco. Another phenomenal stream this morning. Thank you for all the information. Hope you have a nice day. In the 5-day free trial, are all the features for the premium mentorship available? No. For the 5-day free trial, you are only available to see the live streams. Okay, we have 100+ hours of coursework. We have 100+ hours of prior lectures and mentorships. All of that is held within a content library for the premium group, along with one-on-one mentorship, along with pre-market analysis, along with live positions, along with weekly forecasts. We also have a library and education section within the premium Discord. All of those things are only available to the premium members. The 5-day free trial is only for the live streams. You can come watch the live streams. If that is something that you are interested in, you can watch the live streams for 5 days. Other than that, you have to be a premium member to get any of the additional content. OGT, I hope you have a nice day. Thanks again for coming to the live stream. For how much time do you keep a trade open if it didn't reach your TP yet? Well, that's a subjective answer. Everybody manages their positions their own way, right? No matter what, I do not hold positions past the market close. All right, if you don't mind, I'm going to take another sip of coffee. Give me 2 seconds, get a little more coffee in. Thank you for your patience. I'm referring to monthly competitive accounts. Yeah, bingo. It depends on if you're in the learning phase or if you're trying to expedite an account. If you're trying to pass an eval quickly, then look at our expediting process. If you're trying to learn the model and you need more experience executing, then stop putting a time limit on yourself and just focus on learning how to execute. Am I confused because I swear you used to never trade on the day of CPI? Nothing's changed, Luke, so I'm not sure. Did somebody say otherwise? I never said anything different. Right, me sitting here watching, learning, obtaining more experience with the market, that doesn't equal executions. Do you cut a trade in the middle or at break even? You should be using risk to reward, and you should have a defined management before you get into the trade. I look to risk 1 to 2 RR each time I enter a trade, and I look for the position to reach my take profit without moving my stop loss. So I accept, before I take the trade, I accept either -1R or +2R. That is my form of management. I'm not one of the individuals that moves their stop loss to break even. Do you consider the unicorn setup is the low risk buy or sell of a market maker model? Yeah, it could either be the low risk buy or sell or a continuation. Right? So take a look at this right here. We're going to draw up a long position since we are currently bullish. This is what we want to see during a long position. Okay. So take a look at this. Question was, can it be a low risk buy or sell? We're thinking about a long position. So the first thing that we want to see is equal highs, a very clear draw on liquidity. Second thing we want to see is low resistance liquidity. Failure swings on the opposite side of the curve so that our position can move to the direction we want it to move in with ease. Then we want to find our position at a higher time frame level. Right? This is our higher time frame level. During the opening time, right? Let's say that this is 9:30. At 9:30, we get a stop hunt into the higher time frame level, which then creates a breaker block that has an FVG aligned with it. So this would be your low risk buy right here, which can be a unicorn. And then we're on the buy side of the curve, and you can also see here that we also get a continuation unicorn. Right? You get a stop hunt here, then you displace through the highest up close candle, and it creates another breaker block plus an FVG. So the question was, can it be a low risk buy or sell? Yes, you can get a unicorn as a low risk buy or sell. You can also get a unicorn as a continuation, right? First or second stage distribution. It could be either one of them. I've been told that putting an arbitrary 2R targets is wrong because you are imposing your will on the market. And targets should always be market generated. So everybody's allowed their own opinion, right? If somebody feels that way about 2R, then who is to tell them that they are wrong? Once again, this is another comment that goes back to you looking at your own prior results. What has provided you the best results? Has using a static 1 to 2 RR provided better results in regards to return on your investment? Or has being discretionary and using market-made targets provided better results? So, in my opinion, what I have to say about that is, instead of listening to somebody else's opinion, okay, instead of listening to somebody else's opinion, you should go and look at your own data to see what you are better at executing. If you are better at executing a 1 to 2 static RR, then nobody can tell you that you're wrong. You're either profitable or not at the end of the day, and that's what matters. Right? If you want to target market-made liquidity instead of a static 1 to 2 RR, please do it. If you're better at doing it that way, that is the right answer. In my opinion, the only thing that is wrong is listening to somebody else's opinion. All answers should come from data-driven results. Ash, do you know how many funded accounts you can have on My Funded Futures? You can have 3 funded accounts at one time. Where can I find the Expediting by Kimvesco? Go to the student stage on my playlist and look at the interview with Kimvesco. ES 955 candle would be the valid BB. You are correct. It would be the 950 and 955. It would be both of these. Ash, if we have IRL to ERL daily, in 1 hour, can we trade swing point? Ken, if you don't mind elaborating a little more, I don't understand the question. If you could just give me another comment or two, I'm not understanding the question. Ash, if we have IRL to ERL daily, in the 1 hour, can we trade swing point? I'm sorry, I just if you could elaborate, that would be great. I'm still just not understanding the question. Don't we already have a unicorn? It's invalid since the BB is not aligned with the inversion fair value gap. I don't use inversion fair value gap, so I'm not sure what you're looking at, but inversion fair value gaps is not a part to what makes a unicorn. All right, I'm pointing out a potential breaker block. It is not a breaker block yet until it closes past the breaker block. So we would need to see displacement through the breaker block for it to be a confirmed breaker block. We will wait and watch to see if price decides to displace through the breaker block. That is what would confirm it to be a breaker block. When it displaces, if it displaces, it needs to leave an FVG aligned with the breaker block. So we will wait and watch to see if those things happen. Okay, Kent, good job. Yes. Daily IRL to ERL. That is giving us a bullish bias. Then if we look at the 1 hour time frame, in a bullish bias, the points of interest are swing lows and bullish FVGs. That is correct. One minute unicorn on NQ? No, I do not see a 1 minute unicorn on NQ. Do we have a stop hunt on ES after the 1 hour sell side? Yeah, here's the stop hunt right here. Right, swing low. Price ran below the swing low right here. 950 is a swing low. Price ran below it, causing a stop hunt. Yes, we have a stop hunt. So the breaker block's not confirmed yet, but we have highlighted it because there is potential for it to become a breaker block. We are simply waiting for confirmation. There is no FVG yet. We do need to have... See, this is why I can't put anything on the screen. There is no FVG yet. We have to wait to see if we displace through the breaker block. This is also not even a breaker block yet. As I explained, we have to have displacement through the breaker block first for it to become a breaker block. Yes, I understand there is no FVG yet. We can see on the screen that there is no FVG aligned with the breaker block right now. Right, and so then if you guys want to be very strict about it, then we also can't call this a breaker block yet. Take them both off the screen then. Why am I not marking out the other up close candle? I did mark out the other up close candle. There was another individual that asked where the stop hunt was. So I was pointing out the stop hunt. Simply just move the box so that everybody could also see the stop hunt. Right? It would be both of these candles if it ever gets confirmed. Right now, it's not confirmed. So go ahead and take it off the screen since we're getting so many questions about it. Still do not have a breaker block or an FVG. We're simply just waiting. You trade 9:30. So, will you use a setup that occurs prior to 9:30? No, I trade from 9:30 to 12. I look to confirm my criteria after 9:30. My entry function has to happen from 9:30 to 12 or I don't execute. FEG must align with the breaker block. If not, then we'll not take that trade. That is correct. If there is no FEG, then it cannot be a unicorn. And I only execute the unicorn. So if there is no unicorn on the screen, I do not trade. Right? Hence, what's happening right now? There is no unicorn on the screen. That's why you have not seen me pull out the position indicator tool yet, because there's no trade to take. The fact that Dixie is going higher could be a reason for equities to range. I don't really look into the correlation between Dixie and indices. Okay, because there's many times where the correlation is not very strong. Show you right now. Okay, notice how Notice how Dixie has just been going higher ever since the beginning of October. Okay. Since the beginning of October, here it is. Notice how this is NQ. Dixie went higher, NQ went higher. This is the exact reason why I do not focus on the correlation between Dixie and NQ. There are many times where the correlation is not very strong. And you're looking at it right here, right? From the beginning of October, on both NQ and Dixie, they continue to move higher. Goes to show that the inverse correlation between NQ and Dixie is not strong right now. Ash, one question. Did you execute the London setup or was it an educational purpose? If there's no execution shown on the screen, then I did not execute the position. Do me a favor, sub to the channel, like the stream. That way you can be notified for any new streams. We do this every single week. We continue to relentlessly work and learn, gain more conviction with price action by continuing to show up for our session every week. Like the video, sub to the channel. That way you can be notified for any of our new streams. Normally stream Wednesday, New York Open, public on YouTube. The other 4 days of the week, we are live streaming in the premium group. So far today, we've had a bullish bias. Therefore, during New York Open, we have been searching for a bullish entry function. We have yet to receive a bullish entry function, so we have not had a trade so far. We'll continue to watch a little longer, but if there continues to be no bullish entry function, then I'm just going to call it a day, wrap up shop, and be more than satisfied with being flat. We will see if they turn this into a breaker. This is what we're currently waiting and watching. Let's see if they ever displace through the breaker. If they do not displace through the breaker, then you cannot confirm that it is a breaker. Therefore, I would continue to remain flat. Do I trade London live in the mentorship? No. I am from the US, so I am normally sleeping during this time. I sleep from about 10 p.m. New York time to about 6 a.m. New York time. Ash, would you say the 1 minute is worth taking a look at? No, if you're asking for a preference, I would stay on the 5 minute for entry functions. Any videos on the unicorn setup? Yeah, go to the unicorn model playlist on my YouTube. That defines every piece of our model. You can watch it there. Ash, you are an AI. I mean, if Elon wants to make some brain chips and upload me to the hard drive, I wouldn't mind it. That way it can last forever. All right, let's see if we can displace through the breaker here. Bitcoin at 92K. Yep. Kind of what is expected. Don't know everybody's opinion on cryptocurrency, but I've been in cryptocurrency since 2019. So that is a different topic. We can talk about that a different time. In my opinion, that is the technology, the financial technology of the future. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the only two that I would look at. Yeah. ICT. He said he would delete his YouTube if Bitcoin went to 100K. And then in that same sentence, he guaranteed us that Bitcoin would go to 0. So, do what you want with that. Goes to show maybe you should stop listening to other people and start working on this business independently. Price is continuing to fail to displace through the breaker block. Right? So this is why I had pointed to needing confirmed displacement. Price is not able to displace through the breaker block. If that's the case, then we do not have a confirmed breaker block. Ahmed, once again, I've said this multiple times. I've already answered your question. Maybe you didn't hear me or something, but if there is no FEG aligned with the breaker block, then it is not a unicorn. And since I only trade the unicorn model, if I don't have a confirmed entry function, then I don't execute. I do nothing. Okay, so the FEG either touches the breaker block or it doesn't. If it does not, then it is not a unicorn, and I do not trade it. Either touching the breaker or it's not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to begin to wrap up stream. Had a bullish bias today. There has not been any bullish entry functions. Therefore, I'm going to call it a day. No reason to waste the mental capital. Show up to the market, create a game plan, execute that game plan. Right? Today, We looked at time. CPI was at 8:30, and then we had New York open. So we understood our important times. Then we moved over to the daily chart to obtain a bias. Our bias was bullish because of the daily bullish FVG. Then, during New York Open, we have been sitting here, waiting and watching for a bullish unicorn. Since a bullish unicorn did not appear, no position was shown. It did not point to any type of position because my model did not present itself. That's okay. So, today is a day of patience. There won't be any trades. We will be flat for the day. And we will be calling it a day here. I really appreciate everybody showing up to the live streams and participating, asking questions, and going over information. I truly believe that learning as a collective whole is providing a greater learning experience than if we did this on our own. So thank you for all of the individuals that participated today. I am very grateful for every single one of you. If you want any additional communication, I will be moving over to the Discords after this. The links to the Discord are in the description of this video. Sub to the channel, like the video. That way you can be notified for our next live stream. Other than that, amazing day today. Another time to gain more conviction through experience. We're going to continue showing up to our session every chance we can get. Thank you once again. I really appreciate every single one of you. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you on the next live stream. Have a nice day, everyone.